Uh, I want to introduce my people here, and they will introduce themselves from the Kesa. This is Kenya South Africa Chamber of Business. They are the people who are taking us to South Africa, and will be explaining why. But so far, we will be representing Kenya under the category of arts and culture, among other SMEs that will go with us. We have 20 SMEs that were able to be nominated from Kenya, from different businesses, and I will also be joining other 20 SMEs from South Africa. So I'll want these people to introduce themselves and say a bit about Kesa.
Thank you very much, Mr. Terence. It's an honor working with you,
Asante sana.
and we're really appreciating the work you're doing, especially in the entertainment space for Kenya. And that is why, our people saw it fit that you represent us in the arts and culture
Asante sana.
sector. But like you said, we are the Kenya South Africa Chamber of Business, and we are a chamber, like KNCCI, the national chamber. But us, we focus on businesses between Kenya and South Africa. So it's strictly businesses that have interest in both countries. And us, we have gone a step further and focused on SMEs, because we realize that a lot of SMEs, they have good products, but they don't know which avenues to go to so that they can be known, so that they can get their products out there. So we are there to support such SMEs, and if you're one out there, please reach out, and we'll be very happy to talk to you. Yes. So I'm joined by my colleague. She's from South Africa. She came just purposefully so that we can tie down some few things before our upcoming expo this month. So she will also introduce herself.
Yeah, you
I didn't introduce myself.
No.
Oh, my name is Elias.
Elias.
Elias, and I'm the head of the Secretariat Kenya office for the chamber. Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sir Terence. Hi, guys. My name is Bepilo Monto, and I am the Director of Communications and Media for the Kenya South Africa Chamber of Business. So I would like to say thank you so much to Sir Terence and Madam as well, because having this partnership, especially from their side being influencers, has literally, created a lot of awareness for this chamber. As Sir Elias has mentioned, we want to make sure that we create a very conducive ecosystem, especially financially, for SMEs. The chamber aims to be, I would say, the middleman to matchmaking, right? We want to make sure that SMEs feel comfortable, that Kenyan SMEs, if they feel that they have products that they want to share with South Africa, we create a market that's conducive, and also making sure that trading is done securely so we just want to make sure that there isn't that perception of if you're trading, right, within the South African market, we want to make sure that you feel very comfortable. And also in terms of your balance sheet as well as an SME, that if you're in South Africa, that we've created that market for you as well. Is there a market for your company? Is there a market for your product? Is there a market for your services that you're doing? So that's what Kesa is all about. We aim to do that. So thank you so much for coming through. Really appreciate it.
Asante. Madam, you have something to say?
My name is Millie Chebi, and I am a content creator, an influencer, and a YouTuber, and I'm so happy to be a part of Kesa. Really excited that I will be going to South Africa. I can't wait to actually meet the small business in South Africa and see what different they do that we can borrow a leaf from. I'm planning to start something, a small business, so I'm purposefully going there to just borrow a leaf from the people in South Africa and the small businesses in South Africa. Really happy to be partnering with you, and we are honored to be representing Kenya this 2021 Expo.
Yeah. So thank you so much. The space that we are in right now in content creation, we are trying so much to see how do we make business out of our art, and there are so many channels that we can make something to keep supporting our talent and to keep supporting our production. So that's why we are really honored to be part of this Kesa Expo 2021, to meet other business people, tujue wanafanya aje in South Africa and how can we do business as artists through Kesa with South Africans. So there is so much that I believe Kesa has prepared for us in Joburg.
Definitely.
And we are so excited. We're going to represent you the best way we can and see. We create a bridge for other artists and content creators. In that it may be very easy for you as an artist, if you want to do something in South Africa through Kesa, it becomes easy because most of us don't have the know-how, don't have a link of going beyond probably our borders. And now, when you have Kesa, we have to take advantage of that and make sure that Kenya is well represented. So we will open up for questions. Mtulize chochote.
So, Papa Freddy,
Yes.
it's Steve from Black TV right here.
Yes.
You as a content creator, representing Kenya, representing when you are meant to go to represent Kenya in South Africa, what are the things that the Kenyan content creators should expect from you that probably they will benefit by you being there?
As I said earlier, personally is creating a link. You need someone to go ahead to see what is happening there, know how it is done, and also my purpose of going there is kind of take a survey and look for opportunities, because there are very many opportunities that we can benefit as artists. There is a theater there that is run by, it's under Kesa.
No, the theater itself, which one are you referring
The one
to?
you just talking about.
So you can touch on that. Yeah.
So that theater is, you see, in South Africa we also have partners. So you find that with that theater, our partners being members of the chamber, it also gives the Kenyan entertainers opportunity to use that theater for their own shows. So rather than them going there and maybe someone looking for a place, a venue to do the event, there's a theater there for them, just by them being part of Kesa. Yes.
As mentioned, the theater is, Kesa has quite some good links with people there, and that theater is some partly Nini was premiered there, Sarafina, right?
Yes.
Sarafina, the famous Sarafina movie was premiered there, among other big shows. So you see, if we are able to get such connections, when you live here as an artist, sometimes when you go to a foreign country, you are like stuck. You don't know where to start. Understand? You don't know when you want to do this thing, how will you do it as an artist? So that's where Kesa comes in, to give us the guide and also to connect us with their network for us to do our art.
So basically, it's just getting the links. I know when we are here, and we don't know anyone in South Africa, you just begin to feel like your mind is just blank. But when you land there, you'll have someone, you'll see which content creator suits which space. Like I cook. I can't wait to meet one of the biggest cooks, YouTubers who actually vlog with food and just collabo so that it can open to other guys and I can connect them so that they can collaborate. Most of the time we collaborate among ourselves.
Yeah,
it's so
locally.
easy. You can actually do a YouTube video with someone who's in South Africa, who's in Nigeria, and make amazing content with them. So basically, it's just going to get links.
And to just touch base on what Ma'am mentioned, is that what we're doing, especially looking at the talent side of things, arts and culture, is that Kenyans consume a lot of South African, content. But now it's an opportunity to actually open up the Kenyan content to South Africans as well. Because with Sir Terence coming along, there's also content creators on our end that are in the comedic space as well that he's going to be collabing with as well. So the matchmaking happens that way, where we're able to actually, he gets to come and actually experience the South African culture, but he's able to actually create content with his own twist to it, to actually make sure that you guys are more educated on what's happening on South Africa in terms of that platform.
Another question to you. Terence Creative is one of the famous creatives in Kenya, just like his name.
Yes.
I just wanted to know, why did you go for him and not another content creator?
So the reason why we went with Terence Creative, so the first thing in terms of perception, right? The Kenya Chamber, like the Kenya South Africa Chamber of Business, first thing that comes to your mind is what? Business. Very stringent, very strict, right? So bringing somebody along that has the comedic side of it also touches base that there is business to be made in the arts and culture space. Hence why we went with him. And the fact that he's actually created beautiful content, number one. And number two is the fact that he's got so many followers that we wanted to make sure he's the right person to create a catalyst of awareness for the chamber. So we just believe that it was really a match made for us. Yeah. It
And
was really great.
sorry, probably just to add on your question, I remember when we were sitting down for the deliberations on who we should partner with. We looked at the demographics. A lot of research went into that, and we realized Terence is relatable to most of us, from the youth to the old people. Probably, if we went with someone who is strictly in the business space, you know how Kenyan youth are. They would say, that's for business people. But with Terence, you're able to see, as a young person, I'm able to also engage in my business. Because actually, from the time we started engaging with Terence, we received numerous calls from young people who are saying, I'm an upcoming artist. I've seen what you're doing with Terence. Can you help me? I'm an upcoming filmmaker. I've seen what you're doing with Terence. Can you help me? You see such kinds of conversations. But if we would have gone with someone who's maybe just strictly business oriented, we would have sort of lost a section of the people that we want to capture, and these people are the ones who are important, and they're running their own SMEs. You get an SME doesn't have to be run by many people. You yourself, even you as a journalist, you are an SME. You can package yourself as a business, and that is what we're trying to push out here. That whether you're an individual or you're a group of people, and you're doing something that can translate to earning you something. You're basically an SME, and we are here to support you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Terence, this is just from the media.
Yes,
I
yes.
was asking, is it only for content creators or it's business or
I think she can answer that.
So what we did is just to kick off the chamber, we started a competition where we actually allocated 20 SMEs. So the different sectors that we've looked at all 16 sectors.
Yes.
What are you doing in terms of manufacturing? What are you doing in terms of even lifestyle and beauty? What are you doing in terms of health as well? Pharmaceuticals as well? What are you doing from an ICT sector as well? So the SMEs that we've selected, all 20 of them, actually cover all the sectors that we've actually targeted. So it's just not purely arts and culture. We've looked at every other sector as well, because we want to showcase. At the end of the day, it will be a 3-day expo where you are in South Africa as a Kenyan SME and you're showcasing your respective products. Same thing with South African SMEs. They also are selected according to those sectors.
Yes.
Okay, Papa Freddy, I think the reason why they came to you, it is because of your previous video, Kemikal. And I just wanted to know, what do Kenyans expect from you as a content creator? Tanguachilie Kemikal part. Is it part 3?
Yes.
Yeah. What do Kenyans expect from you right now?
I want to believe, first of all, I want to thank Kenyans for the support and global support that I've really got. It was unexpected of us as content creators, and working closely with my wife, because I always ask to share my ideas when I have. The best thing with the video that we created, the Kemikal, we are happy that it has been able to impact people in a very positive way. They are very, when we did our first part 1, it had like 7.8 comments of people saying how they were almost being conned, of people saying now they have the know-how. From there, we have got 10,000s and 10,000s of good feedback. Terence Creative is in charge of all these characters, as you see, Caretaker, Kamami, there is Papa Fred. I work as a diverse comedian, content creator. I don't want to stay on one line. And there's so much more in store for you guys, because I realized Kemikal was a confirmation. It is an affirmation of what you have been doing is the right thing to do. That is the right way. You understand? It's an affirmation from God that you are a content creator, you are an entertainer, you're educating people and entertaining them at the same time. So there is so much. It's only that I can't say now, but once we between in the next 4 months we are taking this to the next level because that is where we are, and it's demanding a lot, and having this opportunity is also a plus for us to go and understand how do people in South Africa do their film, how do they do their art, how do they do their vlogging, you understand? So when you have that knowledge you can always come and add it here, because now where we are, we need also to open up to the international market, make sure they understand our content. So we will having more of subtitles, we will be doing translations, we will be doing sign languages for us to reach mass people. So we want to go everywhere. We start with South Africa, it opens us to us, we make sure we conquer South Africa.
Definitely.
Viva. So after there, we go to the world. So that is my desire for now, to take the Kenyan content to the next level. Yes. You can expect a Kemikal Part 4, you can expect Kemikal series, you can expect Kemikal movie. So it's just there, it's a surprise. So, and there are many more characters. It is, I've been walking around and people don't realize it's Terence when I'm like this until I put on the Papa Fred. So, but there are very many characters, but I expect much, much more.
Okay, I represent the Wabit Media, and I will direct my question to her. So, what are some of the goals that you have achieved that you can tell us? Maybe when you are bringing this thing to the table, you can say these are some of the achievements that I have made.
Okay. So as Kesa, we are newly established chamber. So we actually established in 2018. So on the back end, the reason why we're launching this year is the fact that we have strategically partnered, especially from a South African point of view. So we have strategically partnered with BBC, which is the Black Business Council, as well as BUSA. So having those organizations being part of who we are, we are able to actually tap into their members as well. So the matchmaking that happens from the Kenya side to South Africa, we already have those business links. So having that back up as well, we also made sure that we're in, conversations with DTIC. So with having from a government perspective, legislation as well, that's one of the things that we've actually tried to look at to ensure that from the legislative part of things, that the two businesses, when they actually do connect, that we are covered and we have the right people as well that can actually make sure that the matchmaking is done accordingly. So that's one of the things that we've actually achieved as the chamber.
And what are your goals in the next 5 or 10 years from now?
Awesome. So our goal is to ensure that, for instance, our partnership with Sir Terence, it's not just going to stop with the launch itself. We're looking at, for instance, I would say the educational part or information that he's gained from South Africa to do master classes. So you will have a lot of those Kesa initiatives, such as master classes, where he gets to actually get to, educate entertainers in Kenya as to how to go about doing business in South Africa. We also have South African counterparts that are going to do the same thing. So it's just not only arts and culture, but we'll move on to looking at even innovative materials of manufacturing or even infrastructure. So we're also looking at making sure that the right partners that we bring on board for the next 5 years, we want to break boundaries. We want to make sure that we're going into different avenues of doing business and being the people that are on the ground doing the work. That's what we aim to do. Like, you will always see us working. That's the one thing about the chamber.
Okay, I'm Makena, representing Club Makena and Intimative TV. And my question is to you and others.
Yes.
What criteria you use to get the 20 SMEs who are being part of the expo? And if anyone wanted to get into it as an SME, what's the process of getting into the program?
Okay. Do you want to handle that?
Okay, so from the Kenyan side, 2 months ago, we sent out the call to apply to SMEs in our social channels. And this is something that we'll be doing yearly. So we send out the call, then the SMEs that apply are then ranked based on also their sectors. And then there's a panel of judges there are different stages of handling and sifting through the SMEs because we get a lot. Like just this year alone, we got close to 300 submissions, and then we had to trim it down, we trim it down, we trim it down. So different stages. Then the finalists, we got something like 40 finalists.
Yes.
So from them, the Kenyan people again, we ask them vote because we don't want it to seem like a section of people somewhere sitting and selecting SMEs. No, we asked the people to vote, and voting concluded.
On the 26th of October.
Yes. Then we had our winners. That is the criteria we use. So it is very open to all SMEs. Any SME can apply. But then it's up to you and your team. You're also pushing yourself. You're telling people, guys, this is my business. This is what I'm doing. Vote for me at the end of the day. So unfortunately, the period of application and voting and selection for this year ended. So for the SMEs that did not make it to apply this year, we urge you to apply next year. But still, we have some opportunities for you to attend as an SME. Though we won't be able to fully sponsor you, we are, like she said, our sponsors and our partners also have given us, we're really working together with them. So it's really affordable for SMEs. And even if you don't want to go and exhibit as an SME, there are delegate slots.
Delegate packages as well. That's
You can
available.
go as a delegate, just go and benchmark and see what it's doing, and then come back. But more about the delegates pack will be communicated by my colleague, and also you'll be able to find more about that on Terence's page.
Yes.
And the expo open to everyone, or is it only those who are selected to part of the program?
So to participate in the expo, it's the 20 SMEs that we are fully funding to actually exhibit. If you want to exhibit as an SME, you would need to go onto the Kesa website where there's different packages, exhibition packages. Just like the delegates, if you feel that you just want to attend, there's delegate packages. So just to give everyone, I would say an itinerary. So it's starting from the 22nd of November all the way through to the 25th. So what we've done is with guidance from our partners, we've ensured that most of the, I would say, most of the activities that are going to take place will happen on the 24th. So we've got leadership panel discussions, where we've actually targeted 6 sectors, right? So agriculture, please help me finance and IT as well, energy and mining. So what we've done is we've actually selected top thought leaders that are going to be leading these discussions. We're looking at ministers also paying part to it. So the first part of these leadership discussions is having counterparts. So you will have a minister from South Africa and you have a minister in Kenya actually speaking about the opportunities within that sector. So it's very informative for SMEs to be part of those leadership discussions. And then from there, we have the exhibition taking place. So we have the 20 SMEs from Kenya, the 20 SMEs from South Africa, and everyone else that wants to actually exhibit. There are packages. And then we have the gala dinner, which is very, I would say that we have a keynote speaker, especially from the South African point of view, who's the Minister of Tourism. So I know that, for instance, with Kenya, we need to start pushing tourism from a Kenya's perspective. So having the Minister of Tourism, Ms. Lindiwe Sisulu, being part of this is going to literally be a catalyst for the Kenyan side to say, how can we leverage off each other's knowledge from a South African point of view? Because Brand SA, for instance, the Department of Tourism in terms of South Africa has done so much, especially when you're looking at campaigns such as Short Lived, right? How are we going to necessarily translate that into a Kenyan perspective? So I truly, truly do urge, Kenyans who want to be part of this, to just look at our website. So that's www.kesab, so it's KESACB.com, and go into the expo packages, and then you guys can see what is there, what's feasible for you in order to participate.
Amazing.
Mine is very simple.
Yes. Yes.
We understand that the wash business has been going on for the longest time now.
Yes.
And again, we understand that you are the great director at Ivangola.
Yes.
The Kemikal project, the way you find it, we did it after the Normal expose. Does it mean that Normal inspired you to do the Kemikal project? Was it, did you have the idea before the expose?
When did you first hear about Wash Wash? Historically. Historically, when did you hear about Wash Wash? Have you heard of it before?
The wash business?
Yes.
Yes.
So it has been there even before all this trending and everything.
Yeah.
Coincidentally, we had the same idea, like 2 or 3
2
weeks,
weeks.
2 weeks
3 weeks
even
before.
before
Yes.
now, before the expose and everything. And if you realize in part two, in everything that has been trending around, there's nowhere people mention the part two that we did. True or false? Yeah. So it's an idea. It's, let's say it's a coincidence.
It's a coincidence, by
Yes.
the way. Let me just take it back. We were to do it way back, like 3 weeks before the whole exposure came. But he was to do it differently. It was in a very small way. He kept saying, "Itafanya, itafanya." So every time we'd go to the place we're supposed to shoot, we create my content more than time in Enda, we push. So by the time the expose came from Edgar, it was a coincidence to shoot. Now we were editing it and then ikatoka, so ikamariana.
Do you think the expose in must idea push the project?
The feel ili happen the same time yenye Edgar alikuwa anafanya the expose na hii yetu ikatoka, so people just related with
I
it
think what
easily.
really helped us is the way we executed.
Yeah, so it was almost the same thing, because actually even when Edgar was doing it, it was not more fully explained on how it's done. It was just the story saying what wash. So when people now came from the story they had on the Edgar's expose to now Terence putting it to reality, I think it became more easy. Just married and like and vibe.
When you look at the project,
Wait, before we need to finish with Kesa and your
Then
mubaki na
mkuje
sisi.
kwetu.
We are done with them.
Any question?
One more question. We finish alafu tukuje kwa.
I wanted to know, this question goes directly to Kesa. For those that will miss out to attend the Kesa Expo 2021, is there a chance for them to be part of the Expo? Are there plans for live streaming, Zooming?
Yeah. So in terms of the leadership discussions, we're actually looking at making it a hybrid session where you're able to either stream in, or what we're going to do is actually package the content and it will be available on our website. So we'll make sure that the learnings and the key I would say the outcomes of the leadership discussions will be necessarily on our website.